Community activists and veteran political figures in Alexandra Township, north of Johannesburg, are calling on City Parks to fulfill its mandate. This comes as the area's largest cemetery has been vandalized and stripped, with tombstones being used as building material for shacks erected along and inside the cemetery's unfenced perimeter. Well, for more on this, we're joined by the Head of Cemeteries at Johannesburg City Parks and Zoo, Azola Manjati. Azola, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. What is the understanding of City Parks of what's happening in the Alexandra Cemetery?
Good day, good evening to you, Oliver, and the listeners. What is happening at Alexandra Cemetery is outside the cemetery in the picket-up servitude. There used to be a skip where the shacks are. They are outside the cemetery. They are not inside. So now we're looking. We are engaging with picket-up to refence the whole area. But as JCPZ, we can't just go and fence off that particular area. It doesn't belong to us. It belongs to our sister entity. However, in reality, the vandalism in cemeteries around city of Johannesburg is a challenge to all our cemeteries. Theft and vandalism, and many of our cemeteries, the fence gets stolen. As soon as you erect the fence, it gets stolen. So now it's all about balancing it out, that you can't just put a fence without a plan to safeguard it. We have park rangers now that are certified to enforce the bylaws right up to the level of making an arrest. So in that regard, we are moving forward. However, more park rangers still need to be trained. We have at the moment park rangers that are patrolling on schedule. However, that is not at the level that we would like to see it.
Yeah, it is not uncommon, at least not in the history of the Greater Johannesburg, for cemetery land to be desecrated and to be turned into residential areas, whether formal or informal, in this instance, informal. This seems to be a land and spatial issue. What is being done, at least at the level of the city, to ensure that enough land is being allocated for people to be able to access housing so that cemetery land, sacred land, as the city has put it, does not get desecrated in the way that we're witnessing now?
The issue of housing is a challenge. However, it's also sitting with other sister entities. As JCPZ, we are also struggling to find land close enough to develop cemeteries due to environmental issues, developmental issues, commercial issues, and suitability of land. So the issue of land is not an easy issue. However, at the moment, as much as we still have enough space for the next 20 to 30 years, but land in general is an issue. In this case of desecration of graves and vandalism in cemeteries, mainly it started somewhere in 2010 in South Africa. That's when we've seen the increase in vandalism and communities not respecting graves and cemeteries, which they should respect, because it's a place for our loved one to rest in peace. But there are certain elements in the community on its own that we have lost respect for the cemeteries, which it's something that we need to look at. And it's very motivating and captivating when you see Alexander people standing up for their facility. I am not saying that we're doing nothing in the facility, but they are showing ownership, also taking care of their own facility. So we are there, we will work with them to get the cemetery into a better shape. And it's always much easier when the community is involved, that anything that happens in the cemetery is reported as it happens, rather than we see it on an inspection on the second day or third day.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Azola Manjati is the Head of Cemeteries at Johannesburg City Parks and Zoo.